Saturday night, live from 6 o'clock, the second NRL Grand Final qualifier. Who goes through? These battle-hardened Panthers.
They invent ways to score, these Panthers.
Or the pride of the Shire, the Cronulla Sharks. Both clubs came into the big league in 1967. And the Panthers are out to be the first since St George in the 1960s to win 4 premierships in a row. The Sharks have won just the one.
Cronulla have won it.
But what a one it was. Today, it's this little fella doing the business.
He's having the night of his career.
Braden Tricky Trindle. In just a few weeks, he's gone from renegade to rugby league royalty, from purgatory to pin-up, turning not just his life, but the whole joint around 360 degrees or thereabouts. For Penrith, it's the usual suspects bordering greatness. Nathan Cleary. There's only one Nathan Cleary. Dylan Edwards.
There is trouble here.
Playing his 150th first-grade game. And Isaiah Yeo.
No way.
Yo. The Panthers and the Sharks live Saturday night, straight after the Matty John show in 4K Ultra HD. But of course, right here on Fox League.
Welcome to NRL 360 Rugby League from every angle, brought to you by Telfast. Joining me again, the great Dylan Tallis, it's been the Journo Australian, James Hooper, and Michael Carianis. It is the Penrith Panthers, Gordy, taking on the Sharks. Sets up to be an epic battle, of course. The Panthers, the odds-on favourites, but can the Sharks get it done?
Oh, it's going to be a huge task, isn't it? They're going to have to play a great 80 minutes. I thought they were really good for 40 minutes the other week, but they certainly will need an 80-minute performance, and you never know. Can Penrith stay to that high level?
Geez, they've been a juggernaut, the Panthers. Like the players they've lost and the way that they continue just to find other gears. Nathan Cleary back into the side for the opening week of the finals. I don't see them being beaten. Yeah,
the Sharks were super impressive last week, but they're going to need to be 9.5 out of 10 across the board, and Penrith will need to be 7. I think if they get close to their best, they'll blow the Sharks out of the water.
No, I agree. The Panthers clear favourites and should be, the way they've been performing over the past few seasons in that final against the Roosters. Now let's cross live to Panthers hooker Mitch Kenny. Mitch, you've had the week off. What's the preparation been like, and what's been the focus for this week?
Hey fellas, the week off was great. Got a chance to freshen up a bit, but we also got a chance to put in some hard work. And this week, we've just started doing our homework on the Sharks and paying them the respect they deserve, and trying to get ourselves ready for a good game this weekend.
Mitch, you're going for yourself, your 3rd straight premiership. The club's going for 4 in a row. Surely you must pinch yourself at times thinking of the position that you're actually in.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. It does. When you take a step back, it feels a bit surreal, but at the moment, it's just trying to take one day at a time. We've got a few training sessions left, and then, we'll just let the game play on Saturday. But, it's pretty special and it's pretty cool to be a part of this, mate.
Hey, Mitch, it's Gordon Tallis. Congratulations on a great year. How do the Penrith Panthers, after winning 3, how do you maintain the desire to keep on working and and being at the top of your game?
Yeah, mate, I just think there's so many areas and places we can draw motivation from, but I just don't really think any of us want it to stop. I feel like we all feel individually and as a team that there's more we can get out of ourselves and we can go to new heights, and I guess we're just constantly chasing that, as well as there's other guys in our team who haven't tasted as much success as guys that have been there for 3 premierships. So it's just constantly just trying to get the best out of ourselves and as a team, and wanting our teammates to share that as well.
Mitch, you're a local junior. That must be special, being part of this system, and it's been such a brilliant procession line over the past number of seasons now. What was it like for you when you first came into that system and you're playing alongside Nathan Cleary? All of a sudden you have to replace Appy Coruscant, who's an out-and-out champion of the game. What was that like for you?
Yeah, mate, it took a lot of sort of probably work to not feel like an imposter in such a good squad. There were a few teething issues, but, I always had, the best teammates I could ask for around me. I had was in the best system. I had the best resources in terms of my coaches and things like that. So I had a lot of people to lean on and just help me develop and help me feel like I was, part of this squad and that I could be a valuable member of this team. So it's just about trying to stack days and put the work in and, hopefully the results will speak for themselves.
Mitch, every grand final, every premiership's been different. How's this season been different for you guys?
Yeah, well, it's probably been the season that we've had guys coming out of the team each week the most, probably the most disrupted we've been sort of as a squad. But, that's been great because there's been lessons in there for us as a team as well. So, it probably hasn't been as smooth sailing as we like, but we feel like we're in a pretty good spot at the moment. And, everyone's humming and we're looking forward to the weekend.
Gordy asked you about motivation and how do you get up each year and how do you find that extra something to be in this position as you always are. Now, Luai's moving on and so is Fisher Harris. Surely that adds a bit of motivation for you guys to send them out in a high?
Oh, absolutely, mate. They've been such a big part of this squad for the last few years and, we've been fortunate enough to send some of our brothers out on a high as well and Spencer, Crito, guys like that. And we want the same for Rome's, we want the same for Fish. They've been vital in what we've been doing here the last few years and we feel like we owe it to them to make sure that they leave on that sort of note.
Mitch, about 4 to 6 weeks ago, you looked a little bit clunky and maybe the wheels were falling off. Against the Roosters, you just turned it on. Have the Panthers played their best footy this year yet? And that's a question from the rest of the competition.
Yeah, I'm not too sure, mate. I guess we'll see as we get to the weekend, but we certainly feel like there's more in us. And even though we played a pretty good game against the Chooks, there were certainly areas of that game that we felt like we can improve. So the last 2 weeks we sort of looked at that and tried to double down on what we do well and also where we think we can get better. And hopefully we can deliver our best performance of the year this weekend.
You mentioned the past couple of days you've done a little bit of homework on the Sharks. What have you learned about them?
Oh, mate, nothing new. Like they've just got so many threats all over the park and so many guys that deserve our respect. When they're on, they're probably the most dangerous team in the competition, and that's led by their halves who are in great form at the moment. So, there's so many guys that you got to look after. You can't just focus your attention on one person. So, just in our units, trying to do our homework and pay those guys the respect they deserve.
Mitch, just a bit more of a light-hearted question from Buzz Rothfield down at Cronulla. Is that right that Nathan Cleary might be going over to the Super League to have a little sojourn over there so that he can be closer to Mary Fowler?
Yeah, 3 years, Warrington.
Surely you've been giving him a bit of crap over the last few days, poor Nate. He's been copping it, or?
I caught onto it late, eh? I didn't see this. I didn't know this was going around, so I've sort of missed the boat, eh?
Well, mate, you've been yourself and the club have been simply stunning to watch over the past 4 seasons at least, and good luck with that 4-peat this year.
All right, cheers. Thanks, fellas.
Ready, mate. Mitch Kenny, what a machine Penrith have been. It's unbelievable, really. I don't think any of us saw this coming 4 or 5 years ago. What they've been able to do, it's out of this world.
Well, they beat South by 2 points, blew Parramatta away, 2 points last year, but to maintain their hunger, and he's a big reason. His line speed, you watch him at all moments of the game, the way he rallies the troops, get them off the line, and they're going to be so hard to beat. And the question that they don't believe that they've played their best yet.
It's scary.
I mean, like I said, saying, oh, look, we played good last week or the week before. They believe this is going to be their best performance.
Yeah, but even he talked of the brotherhood, and he didn't talk of it, but he referenced the team and the brothers, and we can get better, and very humble, and it makes me realise why they are so good and why they are in this position, right? Like, very impressive. Even Mitch talking the way he spoke about his club and the way he spoke about his teammates.
Yeah, and the fact is that there's no end side. Even if they don't win this weekend, next year they're going to be a premiership threat again with Cleary and Yeo and Edwards and all those guys still there. Because every year we say, well, they've lost Coruscant, they've lost Kickout, they've lost Crichton, and look where they end up. They're just, it's a rare dynasty that we're watching here, and there is no endpoint to this at the moment. Yeah. That is a scary thing for the rest of the competition.
You can tell they're in the moment and they don't get ahead of themselves with every answer. You can just tell that they were preparing for this week. Huge respect for the Sharks, and they're ready to rock. Yeah,
I read an interview with Nathan Cleary recently where he spoke about a couple of years ago when he was still cutting his teeth as a young player, he would often go over games and he'd live it over in his head and he would create a little bit of noise around it and he'd think what he could have done better. But he said the best advice he was ever given was just to play what's in front of you and don't worry about the games that have gone previously and the big moments that might not have worked out. Just worry about seizing the here and now. And to your point from there, Braith, that's what they're doing so well. I'm glad you gave Mitch Kenny a rap for his line speed because he's unsung and unfashionable in a lot of ways, but the work he does defensively in the middle of the field and the way that he sets the tone for that team to come flying off the line and just suffocate opposition attacks, it's brilliant.
Well, that little kick there, there's no doubt he's going to get better with the football, but he came in, he followed Appy Coruscant, probably the best deception in the game since Benny Elias, and then he's followed it. I think he's such a tough, tenacious player, but every week he's getting better with the football and God, sky's the limit. Do you know what? He wouldn't look out of place. If the old-fashioned way, when you pick the Australian team after, if he has, two really good games, he wouldn't look out of place in Australia.
Wouldn't let anybody down. No.